Taurus. There are moments in life when nothing seems dramatic on the surface. No explosions, no announcements, no obvious warning signs. And yet, everything is about to change. March 1st, 2026 is not just another day on the calendar. It is a turning point. Not because something random will happen to you, but because something that has been building beneath the surface is finally ready to unfold. Life-changing events rarely arrive with noise. They arrive when pressure has reached its limit. And Taurus, you have been under pressure for longer than most people realize. You've been patient. You've been strong. You've been steady. But steady does not mean untouched. Something inside you has been shifting quietly. A realization, a boundary forming, a desire growing stronger than your fear of change. And that is where everything begins. Because when a Taurus changes direction, it is never impulsive. It is final. This unfolding is not chaos. It is alignment. For months, maybe years, you have tolerated what felt manageable. Situations that were not terrible, but not right. Relationships that were not toxic, but not fulfilling. Work that was stable, but not inspiring. You convinced yourself it was fine. You told yourself security mattered more than fulfillment. But deep down, you knew something was missing. And here is what most people misunderstand about you. They think you resist change because you are stubborn. No, you resist change because you understand value. You don't move unless the move is worth it. And right now, something is becoming worth it. There is a shift unfolding, not loud, not reckless, but undeniable. An illusion you have been carrying is beginning to crack. A truth you avoided is becoming impossible to ignore. A door you thought was closed is quietly unlocking. This is not random energy. This is the result of everything you have endured. Every silent sacrifice. Every time you stayed calm when others panicked. Every moment you chose loyalty over ego. Pressure. Pressure creates diamonds. But pressure also creates awakening. And this is your awakening moment. You may feel it already, a strange mix of anticipation and restlessness. A feeling that something is about to happen. Not something small. Something defining. A conversation that changes a relationship dynamic. A decision that alters your financial direction. A realization that shifts how you see yourself entirely. Life-changing events are not always dramatic. Sometimes they are decisions, and sometimes the most powerful event is the moment you stop accepting less than you deserve. That is where March 1st becomes significant, because the unfolding is not just external, it is internal. You are stepping into a version of yourself that no longer negotiates with fear. And that is why this shift feels different. In my years studying Taurus psychology, I have learned something powerful. You do not explode. You endure until one day you don't. And when that day arrives, people call it sudden, but you know it was coming. This unfolding is the result of accumulated clarity. Clarity about who deserves access to you. Clarity about where your time should go. Clarity about what kind of future you are willing to build. And here is the part most people will not tell you. When Taurus begins to elevate, resistance appears. Not because you are wrong, but because your stability intimidates unstable systems. You may notice subtle reactions around you. Someone becoming distant. Someone watching more closely. Someone suddenly supportive. These are not coincidences. When your frequency shifts, dynamics rearrange. But before we go deeper into what exactly is about to unfold, I want you to pause. Ask yourself something honestly. Have you felt recently like you are standing at the edge of something? Like the life you've been living no longer fully fits, but the next chapter hasn't fully revealed itself yet? That space, that uncomfortable in-between space, is where transformation is born. And that is exactly where you are now. This is not about luck. This is about readiness. You are not being thrown into chaos. You are being invited into alignment. The unfolding will challenge you, but it will not break you. It will remove what cannot grow with you. And Taurus, you are more prepared than you realize, because strength is not your problem. Your only challenge has ever been knowing when to release, and something is about to make that decision very clear. In the next part, we are going to explore the silent pressure that led to this moment, and the exact pattern that is now collapsing in your life. Because once you see it, you will never look at your situation the same way again. Stay with me. The unfolding has already begun. Section 1. The silent pressure before the break. Taurus. Before anything changes on the outside, it changes within. And what most people never see about you is the weight you carry in silence. You do not complain easily. You do not dramatize your stress. You do not advertise your sacrifices. You absorb, but you stabilize. You endure. But endurance has a cost. For months, perhaps longer, you have been holding together situations that were slowly draining you. A responsibility that grew heavier than it should have. A relationship dynamic that quietly shifted from mutual to one-sided. Financial obligations that felt manageable at first, until they weren't. And you told yourself, I can handle it, because you usually can. But something subtle has been happening beneath of that calm exterior. Your tolerance threshold has been recalibrating, not because you became weaker, because you became clearer. There is a difference. Pressure does not break Taurus. It reveals Taurus. And what it has been revealing lately is this: you are no longer willing to carry what is not equally invested in you. This is the silent pressure before the break. It is not explosive. It is reflective. You have been noticing patterns. Who shows up when it's convenient? Who only reaches out when they need something? Who assumes you will always be there? And you probably didn't confront them. You simply observed, because observation is your power. Many people mistake your silence for passivity, but your silence is calculation. You study energy. You measure consistency. You track effort over time. And when the data no longer supports the investment, something inside you begins to detach. That detachment is not anger. It is self-preservation. This is the pressure that has been building, not chaos. Clarity. Clarity about what drains you. Clarity about what nourishes you. Clarity about what you have outgrown. And outgrowing is not betrayal. It is evolution. There may have been moments recently where you felt unusually tired, not physically, but emotionally. As if your usual resilience was slightly thinner than before. As if small frustrations felt heavier. That is not weakness. That is awareness. Your system is signaling that something must change, because stability for you is sacred. And when stability feels compromised, whether financially, emotionally, or energetically, your entire being begins to recalibrate. This recalibration is the first life-changing event. Not something happening to you, something happening within you. You are redefining your standards, and that changes everything. You may have noticed yourself saying no more often, or at least thinking it more clearly. You may have felt less obligated to explain yourself, less willing to overextend. That is growth. But growth creates friction, because people who benefited from your old boundaries will feel the difference. And when they feel the difference, dynamics shift. This is why the unfolding feels tense. Not dramatic, tense, like a bridge carrying more weight than it was designed for. And here is the deeper truth. The silent pressure you have been carrying was never meant to stay silent forever. At some point, energy demands movement. And Taurus does not make small adjustments once clarity sets in. You make structural ones, which means the event that changes your life may not be a sudden surprise from the universe. It may be the moment you finally act on what you already know. Have you recently felt that you deserve more respect, more reciprocity, more financial breathing room, more emotional safety? If that thought has crossed your mind even briefly, then the unfolding has already begun. Because once Taurus believes they deserve more, they start moving differently, subtly at first, but decisively. This is not impulsive change. This is accumulated evidence turning into action. And when you act from clarity instead of fear, the outcome is irreversible. Life lesson. Strength is not proven by how much you can endure. It is proven by recognizing when endurance becomes self-betrayal and having the courage to choose alignment over comfort. If this silent pressure feels familiar to you, comment if this resonates with you. In the next section, we will explore the exact trigger, the catalyst that turns silent clarity into visible transformation. And once Taurus decides, the world adjusts. Stay with me. Section 2, the breaking point no one saw coming. Taurus, there is a moment in every strong person's life that outsiders call sudden, but you know better. Nothing about you is sudden. By the time you act, you have already calculated the cost. You have already replayed the conversation in your mind. You have already measured the emotional risk. And that is why when your breaking point arrives, it is not chaos, it is conclusion. For a long time, you have been patient. You told yourself timing mattered. You told yourself loyalty mattered. You told yourself stability mattered, and they do. But what happens when loyalty is not reciprocated? When stability feels conditional? When patience becomes a delay of your own progress? Something inside you shifts, not loudly, but firmly. You may notice it in small ways first. You stop explaining yourself as much. You stop chasing clarification. You stop volunteering your energy where it is not valued. You become quieter, not because you are defeated, because you are deciding. And here is what most people do not understand about your breaking point. It does not come from anger. It comes from clarity. There is a difference. Anger is emotional. Clarity is structural. Anger fades. Clarity reorganizes your life. This is why the event that changes everything may not look dramatic to others. It may be one sentence, one refusal, one boundary calmly stated, or one decision you make privately without announcing it to anyone. The power of Taurus is not in dramatic exits. It is an irreversible movement. When you move on mentally, you rarely return. That is what makes this moment life-changing, because the breaking point is not about destruction. It is about redirection. You may feel it as a calm certainty, a realization that says, I am no longer available for this. No shouting, no scene, just decision. And once that decision locks in, your energy withdraws. Opportunities begin to shift. Dynamics begin to rearrange. People begin to feel your distance. This is not revenge. It is recalibration. The universe does not need to shake your world violently. You are capable of shifting it yourself, and this is the event no one saw coming. Because while others assumed you would keep enduring, you were already preparing to elevate. You were already building alternatives in your mind. You were already imagining something better. The breaking point is not the end of something. It is the moment you stop negotiating with less than you deserve. That shift in self-perception is seismic, and once it happens, the unfolding accelerates. You may notice sudden conversations arise, unexpected messages, an opportunity appearing exactly when you detach from desperation. That is not coincidence. It is alignment responding to decision. When Taurus chooses alignment over comfort, life responds quickly, because comfort was never your true goal. Peace was, and peace requires standards. You are not being pushed into change. You are stepping into it deliberately. That is power. That is maturity. That is the beginning of a different chapter. Before we move forward, pause and ask yourself honestly, is there something in your life right now that you already know you have outgrown? If the answer is yes, then your breaking point is not ahead of you. It is already here, and what comes next will not feel like loss. It will feel like relief. Life lesson. The true breaking point is not when you lose control. It is when you finally gain enough clarity to choose yourself without guilt. If you feel that clarity building inside you, comment. If this resonates with you, in the next section, we will explore what begins to collapse once you make that decision, and why that collapse is not destruction, but liberation. Stay with me. The unfolding is accelerating. Section 3. The illusion that must collapse. Taurus. Once you decide internally, the external world begins to respond. And sometimes, it responds by removing what was never stable to begin with. This is the part people misunderstand. They think when something collapses, it means something went wrong. But collapse does not always signal failure. Sometimes it signals truth. There may be a structure in your life right now that looks solid on the surface, a job that appears secure, a connection that seems established, an arrangement that feels predictable. But lately, something has felt slightly off. Not dramatic, just misaligned. You sensed it. You may not have said it out loud, but you felt it. And when Taurus feels misalignment, they don't panic. They observe. until the illusion can no longer sustain itself. This is where the unfolding intensifies. A conversation may reveal hidden motives. A sudden change may expose instability. A realization may shift how you see someone entirely. And at first it might feel uncomfortable, because even if something was imperfect, it was familiar. And you value familiarity. But familiarity is not the same as security. True security does not require you to ignore your intuition. True stability does not demand you shrink yourself to maintain it. So when something begins to crack, do not assume you are losing something valuable. You may be losing something conditional. You may be losing something that relied on your silence. You may be losing something that depended on you tolerating less than you deserve. And when illusions fall, you see clearly. Sometimes that clarity is shocking, not because the signs were not there, but because you finally allow yourself to acknowledge them. There may be someone around you who underestimated you, someone who believed your calm nature meant you would never shift direction, someone who thought you would always adapt. But what they did not understand is this: you were adapting temporarily, not permanently. And once your internal alignment solidifies, external misalignments cannot survive. This collapse is not punishment, it is correction. You are not being stripped of stability. You are being stripped of false stability. There is a difference. False stability keeps you comfortable, but stagnant. True stability supports growth. And right now, growth is non-negotiable. You may notice people reacting differently to you. Someone distancing themselves. Someone becoming defensive. Someone suddenly trying harder. These reactions are not random. When you shift your energy dynamics, reorganize. And this reorganization is part of the life-changing unfolding. Because once illusions fall, you are no longer negotiating from confusion. You are negotiating from awareness. That awareness changes how you move, how you speak, how you invest your time, how you invest your trust, and most importantly, how you invest your future. You are not here to maintain what barely works. You are here to build what lasts, and sometimes what lasts cannot be built on foundations that were never fully honest. The collapse may be subtle. It may not look dramatic to outsiders, but internally, you will feel it as a release, as if tension you have been carrying quietly finally dissolves. And when tension dissolves, space opens. Space for better opportunities, space for healthier connections, space for financial alignment, space for a version of you that does not constantly compensate for others. This is why the illusion had to fall, not to harm you, but to free you. Life lesson. When something collapses after you choose self-respect, it was never supporting your future. It was only supporting your comfort. Let what falls fall. What remains will be real. If you have recently experienced a sudden realization or shift in perspective, comment if this resonates with you. In the next section, we will explore how this collapse creates an unexpected opening, especially in your financial direction, and why what once felt scarce is about to realign. Stay with me. The unfolding is no longer subtle. Section 4. The financial turning point. Taurus. If there is one area of life where you feel everything deeply, it is security. Not luxury, not status. Security. You do not chase money for ego. You pursue stability for peace. And when your financial foundation feels uncertain, even slightly, your entire system becomes alert. Over the past months, there may have been moments where you felt pressure in this area. Expenses increasing, income feeling tight, opportunities seeming delayed. Not catastrophic, but uncomfortable. And discomfort is something you tolerate longer than most. You work harder, you tighten discipline, you push through because you believe consistency solves instability, and most of the time it does. But this turning point is not about working harder, it is about working smarter. There is something shifting in your financial field, and it is directly connected to the internal decisions you've already made. When you stop tolerating misalignment in one area of life, abundance recalibrates in another. You may begin to see subtle openings, an idea you dismissed returning to your mind, a conversation that introduces a new possibility, a skill you have been quietly refining, finally becoming valuable. Nothing explosive, but strategic, and strategy is your strength. You are not impulsive with money. You are methodical, which is why when financial shifts begin for you, They are sustainable. This is not lottery energy. This is alignment energy. There may also be a realization about where your money has been leaking, a habit, a commitment, an obligation you maintained out of loyalty. And now, with clarity sharpened, you see it differently. You are not cutting from fear. You are cutting from awareness. And awareness increases power. You are beginning to think long-term again, to project yourself forward, to imagine what stability truly looks like, not just surviving month to month, but building something that compounds. This is the real turning point, not sudden wealth, sustainable growth, the kind that no one notices at first, but everyone respects later. You may feel more focused, more disciplined, more selective with where your time goes, because you understand something now. Time is currency, energy is currency, and misaligned investments, whether emotional or financial, cost more than they appear to. This is where your power returns, not through luck, through refinement. There may also be support arriving, not charity, alignment, someone who sees your value, an opportunity that rewards consistency, a door opening precisely because you detached from desperation. You are no longer chasing, you are positioning, and positioning creates leverage. That leverage will matter soon, because when the unfolding completes its arc, you will not only feel emotionally stronger, you will feel structurally stronger, financially steadier, strategically clearer, and that steadiness, it changes how people treat you. It changes how you negotiate. It changes what you accept. This turning point is subtle, but it is powerful, because you are no longer operating from fear of loss. You are operating from confidence in value, and value attracts stability. Before we move forward, ask yourself honestly, have you been underestimating what you are capable of building? If the answer is yes, this is your moment to correct that perception, because the life-changing unfolding includes material alignment, or not just emotional. You are not meant to struggle quietly. You are meant to build visibly, and the foundation is already forming. Life lesson: true financial stability is not created by working harder out of fear. It is created by making disciplined decisions from clarity and trusting your long-term vision over short-term pressure. If you feel a shift happening in your financial direction, comment. If this resonates with you, in the next section, we will explore how this internal and financial realignment begins to transform your love life and why self-worth is the catalyst for deeper connection. Stay with me. The unfolding is expanding. Section 5. Love rewritten. Taurus, love has never been casual for you. You do not enter lightly. You do not attach quickly. And you certainly do not forget easily. When you love, you build. You build memories. You build safety. You build routines that feel like home. But here is what changes when you elevate. You no longer build alone. For a long time, you may have been carrying more emotional weight than you admitted, giving reassurance, giving consistency, giving patience, even when it wasn't fully returned. Not because you were weak, because you believed love required endurance, and it does to a point. But there is a difference between enduring together and enduring alone. The unfolding happening in your life is rewriting how you approach intimacy, not in a dramatic way, in a dignified way. If you are in a relationship, you may begin to notice subtle recalibrations. You speak more directly. You tolerate less emotional ambiguity. You express your needs without cushioning them. And if the connection is healthy, it strengthens, because real love thrives on clarity. But if the connection relied on your silence, it begins to feel unstable, not because you changed into someone else, but because you stopped shrinking. If you are single, something even more powerful is happening. You are no longer attracted to potential. You are attracted to consistency. Charm does not impress you the way it once did. Intensity does not confuse you the way it once did. You are looking for emotional safety now, and emotional safety begins with self-worth. There may be someone observing you quietly, someone who senses your grounded confidence, someone who feels drawn to your stability. But here is the difference now. You will not chase. You will not overinvest. You will allow effort to reveal intention. And that shift changes the entire dynamic, because when Taurus stops chasing and starts observing, the power balance realigns. You are no longer afraid of being alone. And that makes you magnetic, not because you seek attention, but because you radiate self-sufficiency. Love rewritten does not mean love denied. It means love elevated. You are no longer interested in proving your value. You are interested in protecting it. You are no longer negotiating emotional crumbs. You are measuring emotional depth. And depth is rare, but you would rather wait for depth than entertain distraction. That is growth. That is maturity. That is alignment. And when alignment meets the right person, connection feels effortless, not forced, not dramatic, grounded, stable, real. Before we move to the final transformation, ask yourself, have you been settling emotionally because you feared starting over? If so, that fear is dissolving, because the unfolding is teaching you something crucial. You are not losing love, you are refining it. Life lesson. The quality of your love life rises in direct proportion to the standards you hold for yourself. When self-worth solidifies, the wrong connections fall away, and the right ones no longer feel uncertain. If you feel your standards rising in love, comment if this resonates with you. In the next section, we reach the final stage of this unfolding. The identity shift that changes how the world sees you and how you see yourself. Stay with me. The transformation is nearing completion. Section 6. The identity. Great. Taurus. What is unfolding in your life is not just a change in circumstance. It is a change in identity. And identity shifts are the most powerful life-changing events of all. Because once you see yourself differently, you move differently. The silent pressure, the breaking point, the collapsing illusion, the financial recalibration, the rewriting of love. None of these stand alone. They converge here into a new version of you. You may notice it in subtle ways first. You speak with less hesitation. You explain yourself less. You tolerate less emotional noise. There is a calm authority beginning to settle into your presence. Not arrogance, not defensiveness. Certainty. Certainty about what you deserve. Certainty about what you will no longer entertain. Certainty about the direction you are building toward. And when Taurus becomes certain, their energy changes. You become grounded in a way that is almost intimidating, not because you are aggressive, but because you are immovable. This is the identity upgrade, the version of you that no longer negotiates with instability, the version of you that understands that peace is earned through discipline, not avoidance, the version of you that sees long-term consequences before others even see short-term comfort. You are no longer reacting to life. You are structuring it, and structure is your gift. You are beginning to understand that your power was never in endurance alone. It was in discernment. Discernment about where to invest. Discernment about who to trust. Discernment about when to withdraw. This is why the unfolding feels steady now, not chaotic, solid. You are not reinventing yourself recklessly. You are refining yourself intentionally. There is a visible maturity forming around you. People may start treating you differently, with more respect, with more caution, with more recognition. Because when someone upgrades internally, the world recalibrates around them. You are no longer trying to prove anything. You are building quietly, and quiet confidence is powerful. You may even notice that your emotional reactions are slower now. You pause before responding. You measure before committing. You detach before arguing. This is not coldness. It is emotional mastery. You understand something now that many never learn. Stability is not about controlling everything around you. It is about controlling yourself within it. And that shift changes your entire trajectory. This identity upgrade is the final piece of the unfolding, because once you change how you see yourself, life responds accordingly. You stop shrinking. You stop apologizing for growth. You stop minimizing your standards to maintain comfort. You are not becoming harder. You are becoming clearer. And clarity attracts alignment. This is not the end of the unfolding. It is the completion of the transformation phase. From here, your life does not explode into chaos. It solidifies into direction. Before we close, reflect on this. Do you feel more decisive now than you did a few months ago? More selective? More internally stable? If so, that is not coincidence. That is evolution. And evolution is irreversible. Life lesson. True transformation is not loud. It is the quiet moment you realize you no longer recognize the version of yourself that once tolerated less. That is growth. That is power. That is identity upgraded. If you feel this internal shift happening within you, comment. If this resonates with you, now we move into the final separate closing, where everything we've explored becomes one unified truth. Stay with me. The unfolding reaches its meaning next. The final unfolding. Taurus. When people hear the words life-changing events, they imagine something dramatic, an explosion, a sudden miracle, a shocking revelation. But the truth is far more profound. The events that change your life are rarely loud. They are decisions. They are realizations. They are moments where you choose alignment over fear. What unfolded today was not random. It was the result of pressure turning into clarity, the silent endurance becoming discernment, the illusion collapsing into truth, the financial tension refining into strategy, the emotional compromises evolving into standards, the old identity dissolving into a stronger one. This is what life-changing actually looks like for you. Not chaos, elevation. And elevation is uncomfortable at first, because when you rise, your environment must adjust. Some people will feel distant, some dynamics will fade, some opportunities will close, but what remains will be solid. You were never meant to maintain what barely worked. You were meant to build what lasts. And here is the deeper truth most horoscopes never say out loud. The universe does not change your life for you. It reveals when you are ready to change it yourself. March 1st is not powerful because of fate. It is powerful because of readiness. You are ready to stop negotiating with instability, ready to stop explaining your worth, ready to stop tolerating environments that require you to shrink. That readiness is the real event. And once readiness meets decision, destiny accelerates. You may not see fireworks, you may not hear thunder, but in the coming days and weeks, you will notice something undeniable. You feel lighter, clearer, more decisive, more grounded in your own direction. That is alignment. And alignment attracts stability in every form, financially, emotionally, energetically. You are not entering chaos. You are exiting confusion. And confusion is heavier than any turbulence. If something falls away, let it. If something shifts unexpectedly, observe before reacting. If someone reveals their true colors, believe them, because nothing that leaves alignment was meant to support your future. You have stepped into a more mature version of yourself, one that understands that peace is more valuable than familiarity, one that understands that growth sometimes requires detachment, one that understands that life-changing events are often self-initiated awakenings. And now the most important question. Will you trust this version of yourself? Will you trust your clarity? Will you trust your standards? Because once Taurus trusts themselves fully, there is no stopping their momentum. The unfolding does not end here. It stabilizes, it strengthens, it compounds. And what you are building now will echo far beyond this moment. You are not behind. You are not late. You are aligning, and alignment is power. If this message felt like confirmation rather than coincidence, comment. If this resonates with you, and if you are ready to continue walking this path of clarity and elevation together, make sure you stay connected, because what is unfolding in your life is only beginning to show its full structure. Taurus, this is not chaos. This is construction, and you are the architect. And Taurus, if this message did not feel random to you, if it felt like confirmation, then this is where your next chapter begins. I don't create these readings for entertainment. I create them for awareness, for those who are ready to evolve consciously, for those who understand that growth is intentional, for those who know that stability is built, not wished for. If you are one of them, stay connected, subscribe and walk this unfolding with me, because this is not just about predictions, it's about preparation, and the version of you that is emerging deserves guidance that matches their level. Stay aligned, stay grounded, and I'll see you in the next unfolding.